Democratic Congressman O'Rourke will also introduce legislation to end family separation. I spoke with him on Monday. Congressman, thanks so much for being here. First of all, what did you take away from your experience down at the border?
At a time that this country is arresting people who've traveled 2,000 miles with their kids, fleeing violence, brutality, and death, and then takes those kids away from the parents, separates them, and we have no idea when or if those kids will be reunited with their parents. I'm so grateful to see so many people coming out on such short notice to stand up for what we really believe America to be. We are a nation of laws. We have laws for people to legally petition for asylum that we are not following in this country right now. We are a compassionate country that wants to make sure that we're there for those who have no place to turn. And we do this in an orderly, lawful fashion, something that for whatever reason the administration has chosen not to do. This 100% zero tolerance policy, stripping kids away from their parents, is inhumane, it's torture, and I'd like to think it's un-American, but it's up to America to determine that. And this weekend I saw thousands of people coming out throughout border communities saying we want to do better and we want to get this country back on the right track.
At the same time, over the weekend, the Border Patrol chief down there in that area spoke and said that, as emotional as this debate is, what he himself has witnessed, one example he cited was an MS-13 gang member, he said, who was there with a 1-year-old child. And that was an example in his mind of the need to really have this be a zero tolerance policy because of the fact that among the population that might be legitimately trying to flee, there may be other people there who are gang members or who are not coming into this country under truthful pretenses.
Our asylum laws allow for and in fact ensure a thorough vetting of any asylum applicant. And if someone does not belong here, if they have a child that does not belong to them or with them, our laws, our practices will ensure the safety of that child and the return of that person who should not be in our country. But just on Monday in McAllen, I met a 27-year-old woman who traveled 2,000 miles from Honduras with a 7-year-old girl who was just gripping her mother's hand for all the life in her, as she had for the last 3 weeks. Unbeknownst to the both of them, who had just been arrested hours earlier, they were about to be separated. And that little girl would not know when or if she was going to see her mom ever again. That mom who had risked everything, including her own life, to provide for that daughter. We cannot be that country. Today we are. It's going to be up to us to change that. We're introducing legislation tomorrow that will end the practice of family separation, allow us to properly vet those asylum seekers, maintain order at the border, but not dehumanize and torture and inflict unbearable harm and pain on those children. That is what we're doing right now.
So our CBS News polling shows that Republicans are split on this idea of separating families, and you are going to need Republican support for your bill in order to get it passed. Where do you see that support?
I'm encouraged to see prominent names like former First Lady Laura Bush, a Texan, somebody from a border state and a border community standing up for our best interests from personal knowledge and experience. I'm glad that Will Hurd, my Republican colleague in Texas, has said that we should not be separating families. I think there's the will there. What it will need is the public pressure to ensure that it is expressed by co-sponsoring this legislation and getting it passed.
So are you willing to fold this issue into a broader immigration bill that also includes border security as well as protections for these undocumented immigrants who are separated from their families?
Yes, I'm going to keep an open mind to anything that will allow us to do a better job securing the border, a better job ensuring that immigrants lawfully follow an orderly process, and to make sure that we're not taking kids away from their parents, which we're doing to 100% of those who request asylum in between our ports of entry right now. This is unprecedented, it's inhumane, and we have to make sure it is un-American.
Congressman O'Rourke, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.